what I wanted to talk about was like long term. Long term. Here, I want to lay out my reasoning why the Roe v. Wade thing is going to be a major thorn in the right side for a very long time. I talked about this last night, and people on Twitter just did not, or they were unwilling to understand my point. My point is, I'm not against overturning Roe v. Wade. I am not against it, but I am pointing out a very real problem that purple states have, and that is that we will never win a Supreme Court ever again in Wisconsin because of it. Now, people can spurg out and say, yeah, but yes, I agree overturning Roe v. Wade was correct. But what I'm saying is that has created a massive problem in the Rust Belt. Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Ohio, you're not going to have conservatives winning these elections because unless they can figure out how the hell to counter abortions. I talked about this in a tweet last night that nobody understood because nobody lives in Wisconsin because it's a small state. I watched the political ads. Our last two Supreme Court races, the presidential election, and Eric Hovde all lost because of abortion. The only reason Trump won Wisconsin is because he got to say, I don't have any control over abortion. Like, he won in 2016 before that, but I mean, like, he didn't have to answer the abortion question. And so he was less impacted. I don't know how the GOP is going to, again, I'm not saying overturning was bad. I'm just saying this is going to hurt purple states bigly. If you're in Texas and you're in Arkansas and you're in whatever, you're all over my Twitter feed being like, what do you like murdering babies? Okay, well, to finish this thought, we just lost the Supreme Court. It will remain liberal. We have a far leftist governor. Overturning Roe v. Wade has saved 0 babies' lives in Wisconsin. Like, if it had still been in place, we might have had a chance to win at the Supreme Court level. And it's like we're going to have to wait for an entire seismic shift in what young women and men feel about the responsibility of their actions before we ever see. I am pro-life, but I don't want the government to have any say in what people do with their bodies. But when you give the left this abortion thing, until boomers die off, we're never going to win another blue state or purple state ever. It's just not happening. What do you think there, Styx?
I think that, the same.
What do you think, Luke?
Donald Trump definitely argued that it should be a state's issue, and I agree with him. It should be a state issue to determine themselves what they want to do with this. But it's kind of crazy how all of this is just specifically about being able to not take personal responsibility amongst myself. This is the core issue of the left. It's like, daddy government, make sure, please, that I do not take personal responsibility for my actions that I don't want to have consequences for. So it's just absolutely kind of ridiculous to see this kind of unfold, and this being the core issue, because this was never, I'm pro-life too. I absolutely agree with your sentiments. I agree with everything that you're saying, that you're speaking about. But it's crazy that this is such an important issue to the left here, because for me, morally, yes, it's an issue here, but is that really what's really behind here? I think there's more. I think it's more than just the abortion thing. I think a lot of this has to deal with also the economy, also the way that the country's going. I know Trump and Elon are promising to fix stuff, but so far right now, I think the media has done a good job creating a lot of chaos, sowing a lot of division. And I think their strategy here moving forward is a very strategic one, because they understand the left has a big powerhouse when it comes to local, smaller elections and big time money donors. This is where George Soros kind of
he shines
saw
here.
The most effect with his dollars. This is where George Soros was like, yeah, If
judges, city
if I'm able
planners.
to elect district attorneys in small towns and get them to normalize my insanity, I get the big political victory here that can't be mandated. And that's why, a lot of people saying abortion should be a local issue. Well, then George Soros is going to come up and buy it up and institutionalize his viewpoint on it as well.
Yeah, I think it's what do you think, Styx? Is there anything that the Republicans can do in the short term? Because they're going to lose the midterms if they can't beat abortion. That's a fact.
They're going to lose the midterms. That much is clear. There's nothing that they can do about it at this point. Unfortunately, the Republicans will lose the midterms.
Yeah, I don't really see any other outcome. Because
I see that too. I mean, they lose a lot of important midterms.
What are they supposed to do? Who are they supposed to field? They don't have
at the same time where Congress is kind of sitting on their ass, not doing anything at all. They're arguing over how they should be voting. They're not voting on anything at all. They're not even propelling anything. They have the majority now. They're not going to have it soon. Why don't they start acting and actually start to,
They better start forcing stuff through. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have jack shit.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 seats in Florida are helpful because even if they gerrymander in Wisconsin and manage to bleed off one of those seats or even both, Trump will still have the majority. But I think you're going to have another red queef this time around, the midterms. I think Trump is smartly making the tough decisions now so that the economy is in a better place around midterms. But I do think that, maybe Wisconsin's the only state like this, but abortion, they have to counterpunch the abortion thing. They're going to lose every time.
How do you do that as someone on the right, though? Because
I don't know.
Yeah.
You either have to run a more moderate candidate, which the hard right will say no.
Well, that's what Donald Trump kind of did, and he lost a lot of support from the right-wing Catholics during his presidential run last time around.
But he still won.
Saying, I can't vote for Donald Trump because of his stance on abortion, which was him saying it's a state issue. So we saw Trump kind of pivot on this, and I know you're talking about. I think there's a lot more at play here than just that one single issue. Personally,
well, we'll see. I guess we'll see after the midterms, but I
think he'll do fine. It's just, he will do less fine than he could have done.
If he could somehow hold the majority, that would be miraculous. He's up 4 seats right now. Is that correct? 4?
I think so, 3 or 4.
I could double check.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. What I'm trying to balance is winning. What I'm trying to get people to understand is there's 2 positions. There's the ideological one, where I believe that abortions are bad and they should be illegal and right? I wholly support overturning Roe v. Wade. And then there's this reality where you will save no babies in Wisconsin. You will save no babies in Michigan. You will save no babies in Minnesota. You will save no babies in Ohio. You will save no babies in Kansas. You will save no, because they're all going to lose. And they're going to be liberal Supreme Courts, and they're going to allow abortion. So maybe the upshot of that is at least in red states, but red states were never going to allow it either. So my point is that the net of overturning Roe v. Wade is more abortion.
Yeah. I'm on the House Gov website. It says that there's 218 Republicans, 213 Democrats.
Yes, that's right. So 5.
And still, the Republicans are literally not doing anything. They should be passing laws like crazy. Pass the law to defund the Department of Education. Pass the law for national concealed carry. Pass the law for all these things that we've been asking for and demanding. Pass the law ending U.S. aid. Do it now, immediately, please.
Now, it is, he's got 2 years till the midterms. So, it's still, pretty early. But the Republicans, I think, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to have an unpopular take here, but they have 2 options. They can run abortion moderate candidates, or they can lose. Yeah. That. Prove me wrong.
They're gonna do the former because they're Republicans.
They have to win. If you don't win, you can't stop. You know what I mean? It's like a chicken or an egg thing. If you can't win the election, what difference does it make what your opinions are? Because you have no power. And so they're going to end up having to run abortion moderate people and take like concessions in purple states. They can run the reddest red guy ever in Texas, but you're not going to run an abortion hardliner in Wisconsin. And even if like Schimmel was not an abortion hardliner, they just ran the TV ads that said he was. Even if I remember correctly, Hovde softened on his abortion stance, and it didn't matter because they ran the ads anyway on TV and said that he's an abortion hardliner, and he lost. Because, and like, maybe it's just Wisconsin. Go ahead.
Not surprising.
Yeah, they don't have to tell the truth in these ads. People forget that. Like, I kept telling people, I'm like, Hovde's actually pretty moderate on abortion. He's not a hardliner, but that is why he lost. We would have had another seat in the Senate if Hovde was not portrayed as an abortion hardliner. So I don't know if you lie to get in, and once you're in, you ban it.
Lying in politics.
I mean, I don't know.
Lying in politics, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
those aren't connected at all.
I mean, you know, if you're Republicans, maybe you get some teeth behind trying to take down these political ads that have you that lie. You know, like I live here every day during breakfast. It was like news segment, 3 minutes of commercials, and every one of them was the exact same abortion commercial. Every one of them.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, you can't beat that. You can't beat that unless you want to make the stupid ideological position. I'm about winning. All right, you can say blah blah blah. To say I'm coping because these takes are absurd. You don't live in Wisconsin, so you don't know. I am telling you, they lost because of abortion, and just because it's a false dichotomy to say, well, Jeremy, are you saying abortion is good? No, I'm saying we can't win on abortion as things stand right now. So if you're going to say I'm wrong about that, then tell me what the GOP can do and in purple states, in battleground states, to get power anymore after Roe v. Wade. I don't know. I have not heard any. I've only heard people say I'm wrong. I have not heard a single person say, well, this is what you do. You know?
Yeah. Well, local issues, local elections matter. And I think if there was more, because the left has all these, billionaires in all these smaller issues. If we had the answer to that and we refocused on the small level, then build up to, of course, the bigger kind of federal level, I think that's a more kind of strategic, smart move to make here, especially when it comes to the judges, the district attorneys, the prosecutors. All of that stuff matters. And here in Miami, by the way, we just passed a fluoride ban, which I think is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's good.
Only because of just relentless work of people on the ground here. I've attended multiple amount of these meetings myself. They're a pain in the ass. I'm pulling my hair out. They're annoying because all these government officials are just so difficult to deal with. But again, they have to kind of answer to us here. And the right just likes to vote every 4 years, and they just like to kind of go away and be left alone. That's the kind of dichotomy here that's also at play here, because
leftists are
in the local issues. They're not in City Hall. They're not in the cities. Where do most of the people that live in the cities,
rural
what
areas,
political orientation do they have? They're mostly the liberals. So clearly,
they're more active, right? Like the left is way more active. And by the way, I'm reading chat, and there's a lot of brain dead takes, like false dichotomies. Again, people are saying, oh, Jeremy says we can't win, so we should just allow abortion. That's not what I said. I said we have to figure out a way. We have to find we have to change perception. We have to drive the conversation away from abortion, or we're going to lose. You're like not listening to me if you think that I said we should allow abortion so we could win elections. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're an idiot if you don't see that in purple states, that's why we're losing. And if you want to say voter fraud, it wasn't voter fraud. Now, did George Soros spend an assload more money? Yes, and that hurt. But I can tell you for a fact that when the data comes out after the fact, there will be tens of thousands of women that voted for Trump and voted for Susan Crawford. Why the fuck do you think that is? It's because of abortion. And it's not a guess. I live here. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's just the truth of it.
Yeah, but Elon also came in kind of late in the game. He came in late, and a lot of people say the boost that
was too late. Yeah,
Schimmel got was only because of Elon, and these other guys. I mean, they were in the shadows. I was hearing about the shadow funding of this Democrat Supreme Court appointee now, not appointee. This candidate now for weeks and weeks on end now. So clearly, the whole Republican Party machine isn't activated, isn't as powerful as it is. I sent you a clip of CNN actually kind of admitting that it's okay for Soros to do this because he, quote, hides in the shadows, which is the exact opposite of what I think is important to do here.
Yeah, well, because it doesn't give the left. When Soros does it, he's kind of this shadowy figure that people can't really rally around. But when
you do, social media censors you. You couldn't even say George Soros' name on YouTube because if you did, you were deemed, quote, anti-Semitic. And I'm like, we were not even talking about that. We're not even talking about his religion or his background or his country that he has allegiance to. We were talking about all of the things that he finances, and then they came out and they said, no, you can't even talk about him. And for a long time, you mentioned his name. Your video got shadow banned immediately. Yep. If it was in the title, if it was a big controversy saying you better not criticize George Soros. He's beyond criticism. That's what the left did. And now when we look at how they're criticizing Elon, it's the exact opposite of what's happening here.
Yeah, there's really no, overcoming it. And I just wish, I think that I think, I know half of chat is trolling me. But I know that a lot of people genuinely are not hearing me. I'm just trying to look at it pragmatically. I don't think people should compromise their beliefs or morals or whatever the case is to, quote, win elections. What I'm saying is we're losing them because of this. So we have to figure out, I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but neither does the GOP, apparently. It's been...
This has been going on for quite a while. This has been going on, I mean, ever since they were promising a big red wave after COVID with Donald Trump's midterm election. And then it's like, oh, actually the opposite of that happened. And the left was celebrating and cheering, saying, look how much we were able to get done. And look how badly the Republicans failed here every step of the way. So they understand this is a problem. And unless they wake up, they're going to continue repeating this problem. And, at a certain point, you kind of got to ask yourself, are they just complicit? Are they just the fall guys? Are they just the heel? Are they supposed to be the guys that just fail every step of the way here? So we never get anything done at all. And that's the question that I think, people should start asking themselves when they keep failing at this one ridiculous thing that they can't get a grasp of, that they can't control.
Yeah, that's the issue that I try to tell people. We'll have to see. There's maybe something new, maybe because we're kind of the crazy trans people is kind of losing, that one trumped the election. Kamala's for they, them, she's for you, and or he's for you.
You try to stay away from it as well.
Yeah, but they stuck it on her anyway.
Yep.
They ran that ad in Wisconsin explicitly, unrelentingly. Again, I live here. I don't know, because Florida's not a swing state. But if you live in a swing state, tell me. For the last 3 weeks before the election, that is the only ad that Trump ran.
Florida used to be a swing state.
Yeah, that's true.
Until all the people came down here from all the COVID tyranny and started to, of course, make a new life. But then also on the local level, say what you may about DeSantis and, some of the things that he's done that are very unpopular. But DeSantis here has run a good local game here. This is why a lot of the top kind of DeSantis officials are now Donald Trump officials. This is why Donald Trump was able to take a lot of the very good, competent people here and then kind of implement them in the federal government. So hopefully they get it together because they understand how it matters here on the local level. And now, you know, the governor of Florida, DeSantis, keeps talking about cutting taxes and getting rid of property taxes. It's all a good game, but now I think he has lost a significant amount of people within his old administration that would have been able to carry that out. And he's definitely not as prominent as he was previously beforehand because of the great people around him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the GOP can figure out some different messaging. And chat, the chat is right when it's like he lost by 300,000 votes. But we could have probably got another 100,000 with a better ground game. We could have got another 100,000 with more money. It's not all 300,000 of those votes that he lost by was because of abortion. That's true. But I can tell you that's why Hambly lost, because everyone loved Hambly. And that's why he lost. And that's why the other Supreme Court guy lost, because they had just banned Roe v. Wade. So it is a more complicated picture, but until we figure out how to deal with it, so maybe the right, I'll end the segment here, but like, maybe the right's position needs to be, get fucked, we don't care, abortion's bad. Like, maybe we need to hit them back.